friends, welcome back to my channel. This is Smiling Mary. Today I'm going to show you how to make homemade mayonnaise. So it's so simple, it's ridiculously crazy. In a wide mouth mason jar, I've got 3 egg yolks, and into that I added a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, a 1/4 teaspoon of sweet paprika, a 1/4 teaspoon of dry mustard, and then the wet ingredients are a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar, a tablespoon of white wine vinegar, and 1 cup of oil. Use a neutral oil, avocado oil, light olive oil. Those work really great. I kind of try to stay away from vegetable oil because of the soy. You could use an organic canola oil. That would be a good neutral oil as well. Grapeseed oil, perfect, works great. And then a juice of half a lemon. So what you're going to do is you are going to put your egg yolks in the jar. Take your liquid, your acids, and put that in the jar. And then give this a little swirly, just like that. And then this is a trick that I just learned because I use this immersion blender. And so it kind of takes away the having to drizzle the oil drop at a time. So what you basically do is you pour your cup of oil into your jar. I measured this out before, so I know it's exactly a cup. So do that. Get it in there. And then what you're going to do is after you pour this oil in your jar, you're going to let it sit for about 30 seconds just so that it has time to completely separate. And that is crucial to this working right, is that this has to separate. So, and then I have over here, once we get done making this mayonnaise, I'm going to make homemade ranch dressing because I live out in the middle of nowhere and it's a 30-minute drive pretty much in any direction to get to town to store. So I'm not going to go into town just because we're out on ranch dressing or anything like that. And it's just one of those things I don't like stocking up on because I don't like the flavor of bottled ranch. But if you have parsley, onion powder, garlic powder, dill, and pepper, you are going to make the most incredible ranch dressing that you've ever tasted, and your family won't go back to the bottle again, I promise. So, okay, this is pretty much separated. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your immersion blender and you set it down into the bottom of your jar. Just let it sit there for a second. And then let that settle back down again. And then once that settles, you're just going to turn it on and wait for that vortex to take place. And then once that vortex starts, it starts making mayonnaise. You can lift it up just a skosh to let some of that oil back in there. And then another little lift, another little lift. Kind of lift and plunge it just a little bit to let that in there. That's a great sound. All right, here we go. One more time. So there's what it looks like as it's making the mayonnaise. And we just do that and incorporate all that oil. And that's it. And that's it. That's your mayonnaise right there. It's amazing. It does have raw egg in it, so egg yolk. So if you're worried about that, then, you know, just buy your mayonnaise at the store. But if you're like me and have tons of eggs from your chickens, then this is a great thing to do. It tastes amazing. It's got vinegar in it, so it's fresh. So you're going to have that vinegar hit, but it's really, really tasty. And look how thick that is. That is just absolutely delicious. All right, so we're going to move on to the ranch dressing. Here's what you need to make homemade ranch dressing. You need 2 teaspoons of parsley flakes, a teaspoon of onion powder, a 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder, a pinch of dill weed, a half a teaspoon of pepper, give or take, depending on your taste, and a half a teaspoon of salt. You'll need 1 cup of milk or buttermilk or yogurt, Greek yogurt. I didn't have any of that, so I just took 1 cup of milk and I added a capful of the apple cider vinegar and I let it sit, so that kind of makes its own little buttermilk, and a cup of mayonnaise. So just like the packet, a cup of mayonnaise, a cup of milk, and then your seasonings. A little trick I learned back when I was in 4-H was, if you're measuring something thick like mayonnaise and a liquid, put your liquid up to your 1 cup mark, and you're going to need a cup of mayonnaise, so that would be 2 cups. So what you do is you just take that thicker ingredient and you add it to your measuring cup until it comes up to that mark that you need. So I'm going to need this to come up to a 2 cup mark so that I have 1 cup of mayonnaise. And see how the milk just rises? And the milk will rise up to that 2 cup mark, and then you'll have your 1 cup of mayonnaise, which is probably this whole jar. See, there you go. Right up there to the 2 cup line. And I have enough for maybe a sandwich. Dump in your spices. Give it a whirl. Let it sit in the fridge till it cools down and gets nice and thick. And there you go. You have ranch dressing. Enjoy. Look at that. Look at that creamy, dreamy, delicious, tangy ranch dressing. I hope you enjoy this recipe. Give it a thumbs up if you do. If you want to subscribe, I'd be more than grateful. Thanks for coming to the kitchen with me. Hope you have a fantastic day, and I will see you on the next video. Bye!